Daniel, alkenes undergo what reactions?
So electrophilic addition reactions.
Yeah, with
Sorry, sir.
they go undergo electrophilic addition reaction with what? Reagent key.
Electrophiles.
স্যার আমি বলে দিই আপনাকে, আপনি কি ওই যে চারটা সাবটাইপ যাচ্ছেন তাই না? Addition of hydrogen, hydrogen halides, halogens and steam.
Exactly. So you need to know this. Alkenes. মনে আছে O levels I told you they can form alkenes
Yes,
with
sir.
hydrogen. They can form halogenoalkenes. They can form halogenoalkenes with halogens. Alkenes can form alcohols with steam, right? So anyways, alkenes, আরো আমি দুইটা reaction লিখি নাই, সেটা হলো oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction কি কি? With dilute KMnO4, concentrated KMnO4. Dilute KMnO4 and concentrated KMnO4. So Amra will just have a quick recap. How do we name alkenes?
So first we look for the longest chain.
তারপর
Usually if two compounds have the same number of carbon atoms in the longest chain, then we see which chain has more number of branching.
So Amra first we know we have a prefix, right? তারপর we have a word root. Word root কিসের উপরে depend করে?
Functional
Parent chain.
Parent chain. তারপর ain, in or wine. তাহলে এখানে তো আমরা জানি যে it's in, right? Plus you have a suffix. Suffix কিসের উপরে depend করে?
The carbon chain.
No. The functional group. সব ভুলে গেছে। Suffix functional group এর উপরে depend করে না? মানে for example if you have a carbon carbon double bond with a OH.
Sir, দুইটা না, primary or secondary?
হ্যাঁ, primary and secondary. Primary কিসের উপরে depend করে?
Primary তো carbon chain, secondary functional group.
Secondary functional group, yes. ও আচ্ছা, আমি primary secondary আলাদা করে দেইনি, হ্যাঁ। Primary, secondary. So here we have a double bond and we have a OH also. Who's more powerful, alkene or alcohol? Alcohol. So এটার নাম কি হবে? Eth. So word root would be eth plus in minus e plus all. তাহলে এটার নাম হবে ethanol. Ethanol. So nomenclature is whatever we studied at the beginning, nomenclature. Then we have physical properties. Physical properties, let's come to melting point and boiling point. Just like alkanes, what will happen? Melting and boiling point will increase or decrease?
So increase.
As the number of carbon increases, the melting and boiling point will also increase.
এটা তোমরা সবাই জানো, very good. Now we are not worried about this because we know that I know that you already know about this. Now we are worried about melting and boiling points of isomers. For example, if you have a carbon-carbon double bond with 2 hydrogen and 2 chlorine, is this cis isomer or trans isomer?
Sir, cis.
This is cis isomer. Why is it cis isomer?
Same plane, sir.
In plane.
Both the function groups are in the same plane. Acha, good. And then if we have this hydrogen, and if we have this hydrogen, and if we have this chlorine, and if we have this chlorine, what is this?
Trans.
Trans isomer.
Now, who's gonna have a higher melting point?
Trans.
কিস হবে না?
Why?
ও কারণ দুইটা উল্টা মানে they're positive
Trans.
and negative on both sides. They don't cancel each other out.
Very good, Mahadeep. Well done. There's two reasons because of this. একটা হলো যে what Mahadi said. এখানে দেখো যে both the hydrogens are on one side. Both the hydrogen is on one side. Both the chlorines are on the other side. তার মানে কি হলো? Chlorines are more electronegative, right?
Yeah.
So if chlorines are more electronegative, there's more negative charge on this side and more positive charge on this side, right?
Obviously.
So they have some polar properties now, right? And if they are trans, তাহলে কি হবে? Their charges cancel out. So এখানে it's more non-polar.
Right.
This is less non-polar. So cis is gonna have a higher melting point. Acha, this is
So melting point, boiling point কি লিখবো?
it increases. Oh, sorry. Cis isomer has a higher melting and boiling point than trans isomer. Just write down this. আর এর থেকে বেশি দরকার নেই কিছু লেখার।
Okay, then density.
You already know what happens to the density. It increases as the number of carbon atom increases. So density, carbon 1 to carbon 4 is gas. Carbon 5 to carbon 18 is liquid. And carbon 19 onwards, it's solid.
Sir, then viscosity also increases, right?
Viscosity also increases, yes. Viscosity also increases. Solubility, soluble in what? Inorganic. Sorry.
Organic solvent হবে না?
Sorry.
Organic.
Soluble in non-polar solvents. Abdullah, what is the reason they are soluble in non-polar solvent?
Sir, দুইটাই hydrophobic, sir.
So there's van der Waals interactions,
জি, sir.
right? Chemical properties is the one which you need. সত্যি কথা. So with hydrogen, with halogen, with steam, with hydrogen halide, are oxidation. Tana Shanil, can you explain me how does this electrophilic addition work? How does this electrophilic addition thing work? Can you explain us, please?
An electrophile, it comes close to an alkene molecule, and we know that electrophiles are basically they're deficient of electrons.
Yeah.
So because the alkenes they have a high density of electrons, they provide like one carbon provides electron to the electrophile. So the one that is providing the electron to the electrophile, that becomes positively charged, and the other carbon is negatively charged. So
Okay, so I'll just একটা স্মল কারেকশন যেটা তুমি অ্যাকচুয়ালি মানে ইউ ডিড নট আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড, দ্যাট ইজ যে ইলেকট্রোফাইল ইজ নট অ্যাটাকিং। ফার্স্ট অফ অল কি হয়, ইটস লাইক X and X, both of them have the same electronegativity, right or wrong, Rania?
Yep.
Okay. So if they have the same electronegativity, where is this electron supposed to be? At the center or at any one specific side?
Center.
At the center. Okay, good. Acha. Tarpor, what happens? They come close to the electron-rich carbon, right?
Yes.
Acha. So when they come close to the electron-rich carbon, what is this molecule doing?
Sir, the electrons are being repelled away.
It's producing there's a repulsion between the pi electrons and the shared electrons. Then what happens? The carbon with the hydrogen with the hydrogen with the hydrogen with the hydrogen, এখানে I'm circles are pi bond, okay, মানে pi cloud. এটার সাথে what happens is the electrons which were at the center is now pushed to one side. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Rania, start from here. Then since this has been pushed to one side, this becomes what?
Positive.
And this becomes what?
Negative.
Negative. আরেকটা জিনিস, so since this is positive, what is this carbon becoming?
Negative.
Negative. And what is this carbon becoming?
Positive.
Okay, Rania, continue.
So the positively charged atom will then bind with the negatively charged carbon.
The next step, what happens? The carbon which was negatively charged has a new member, right? It has a new member. So what is this member? An electrophile or a nucleophile?
Electrophile.
Electrophile.
This is an electrophile. Okay? And what is left?
Nucleophile.
Nucleophile. So nucleophile টা কোথায় এসে অ্যাটাক করবে?
The delta positive carbon
comes and attacks here. So if you can remember this, এখন তোমার সব জন্য সেম মেকানিজম। if it's hydrogen, তাহলে হাইড্রোজেন হাইড্রোজেন সেম মেকানিজম, ক্লোরিন ক্লোরিন সেম মেকানিজম, ব্রোমিন ব্রোমিন সেম মেকানিজম, হাইড্রোজেন ব্রোমিন একটু ডিফারেন্ট মেকানিজম, বাট ইটস স্টিল সেম। ঠিক আছে, স্টিম একটু ডিফারেন্ট বাট ইটস স্টিল দ্য সেম। আমি বুঝাই দিচ্ছি এগুলো। সো তোমাদের এনি কনফিউশন অ্যাবাউট দিস থিং?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Electrophilic addition, any confusion about this thing?
No, sir.
আচ্ছা, এখন alkenes যখন when alkenes react with steam, what happens?
Alcohol is
যদিও এটার মেকানিজম তোমাদের নাই, but it's the same thing. So steam মানে কি? What is steam? H O H, right? H O H. So HOH এর ভিতরে we know that it dissociates into H plus and OH minus. What is H plus here and what is OH minus here?
H minus হলে গেছে electrophile,
হ্যাঁ,
H plus হলে গিয়ে nucleophile.
what is a nucleophile and what is a electrophile? Define.
Sir, H plus টা হচ্ছে electrophile আর OH minus nucleophile.
Very good. So H plus will attack which carbon?
Sir, the negatively charged.
The negatively charged carbon. And the OH minus will attack the positively
Positively
charged
charged.
carbon. Next is HBr, Markov's rule. Acha. So Markov's rule কেন important? Listen. এটা আমি তোমাদেরকে আজকে পড়াবো না। I'll teach it next class once you're done. So Markov's rule যেটা why is this coming into play? মানে why বাকি reaction there wasn't anything like this, but why here? দেখো. Suppose this is your double bond, right? And you have a red chlorine with a green chlorine. Acha. So irrespective of where the chlorine comes and sits, it's going to give you the same type of product. কিভাবে দেখো? CH3, CH, CH, H. So either the red chlorine can come here, and the green chlorine can come here, or the red chlorine is here and the green chlorine is here. But wherever the green chlorine or the red chlorine are, is the same product, right or wrong?
Of course.
Is it different?
Right.
Is it different?
No, sir.
It's
No,
not
sir.
different. এটার নাম হলো 1,2 dichloro-propane. এটার নাম হলো 1,2 dichloro-propane. There is no difference. Acha. But where is the difference? When instead of chlorine or instead of halogen, you're adding hydrogen halide. It could be HCl, or it could be HBr, or it could be HI. HI সাথে reaction করা is very difficult, very difficult. So আমরা will concentrate with HCl and HBr. So again, let's come back to drawing a propane. অথবা propane আঁকি আমরা. Let's draw propane. So with this propane, if you add a hydrogen halide, so imagine you have added, imagine you have a H bonded with a Br. So what are your possibilities? So একটা হতে পারে যে your hydrogen is here and your bromine is here. আর আরেকটা হতে পারে your bromine is here and your hydrogen is here. Which one is your major product and which one is a minor product? So that's what we need to know. So কেউ বলতে পারবা, did anybody go through the Markov's rule?
Sir, the 2-bromopropane
2-bromopropane
is the major one.
is the major product. And 1-bromopropane is the minor product. So the rich gets richer, right? So this carbon already had 2 hydrogens, 1 more hydrogen came in. That's your major product. And this had 1 hydrogen and 1 hydrogen came in. So you're basically, the Markov's rule goes like this. When the halogen is bonded to a carbon, which is in turn which is in turn linked to the least number of hydrogen atoms. When an halogen is bonded to a carbon, which in turn is bonded to bonded to less number of hydrogen atoms, that is our major product. So ekhane major product is 90%, minor product is 10%. এখানে কিন্তু we get a mixture of, so when to a propene, when you had a hydrogen halide, you get a mixture of a major product and a minor product. Major product is 90%, minor product is 10%. So your task is what does this Markovnikov's rule state and what is the reason behind this? What is the reason behind this? তাহলে major product কি? Major product is when the halogen is bonded to a carbon, which is in turn bonded to less number of hydrogen atoms or the least number of hydrogen atoms. We call it Markovnikov's rule. Next, আমি কি কিছু বাদ দিলাম? একটু দেখি।
Polymerization, sir.
আরে না, polymerization অনেক দূরে। Reactions of alkenes. Addition of hydrogen, done. Acha, so addition of hydrogen tomar you need nickel catalyst, okay, and 140 degrees centigrade. Then addition of steam, done. Addition of steam, you need phosphoric acid, okay, you need phosphoric acid, temperature 330 degrees centigrade, pressure 6 megapascal. So আরেকটা জিনিস তোমরা একটু লিখে রাখো স্টার মার্ক দিয়ে। Markovnikov's rule is only applicable for asymmetric alkenes. Asymmetric মানে odd number alkenes. আচ্ছা, তারপর we also studied about addition of halogens, which is also done. আচ্ছা, last oxidation of alkenes. So oxidation of alkenes undergoes two types of reaction. With dilute KMnO4 or concentrated KMnO4. The culprit is this concentrated KMnO4. অনেক ঝামেলা মানে ঝামেলা বলতে it's difficult to remember. Dilute KMnO4 is very easy. Ajmain Haider, what happens to alkenes when you oxidize it with dilute KMnO4?
Sir, diol form করে.
Diol form করে, exactly.
Diol.
Forms diol. So তোমার এখানে একটা butene molecule আছে, butene. When you add dilute KMnO4, what will happen? It will become CH, 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 CH3, OH, OH. যতগুলো ডাবল বন্ড থাকবে ততগুলো OH আসবে। মানে the carbon, যতগুলো carbon will be linked to the double bond, ততগুলো carbon will be linked to the OH. So if you had like 2 double bonds, then 4 OH would come and get linked. Next step. Sahat, what is the name of this compound?
Sir, ethane 1,2-diol.
Ethane.
That's
How many carbons are here?
Butane.
How many carbons are here?
Sir, 4.
Yes, so Namira, what is the name of this?
Butane 1,2-diol.
1,2-diol.
No.
Sarah Raida.
Sir, 2,3.
2,3
3
2, 3, 2.
Okay. Samrin, Samara.
Sir,
Imagine we are oxidizing. Alcohol ke oxidize korle tumi ki paba?
alcohol,
Yeah.
carboxylic acid.
Carboxylic, very good. Carboxylic acid. Okay, very good. But the difference between O levels and A levels is A levels you need to know the different types of alcohols. Okay?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Primary, secondary, or tertiary.
Tertiary.
So what type of OH alcohol are these? The carbon to which the OH is linked is bonded to how many hydrogens?
1,
And how many R groups?
2.
So what type of alcohol is this?
Secondary.
Secondary. Very good. Secondary. So secondary alcohol ke oxidize korle tumi what will you get? তোমরা এখনো এটা পড়ো নাই। You'll get a ketone. And if instead of this আমি তোমাদেরকে আরেকটা জিনিস দেখাই, সেটা হলো যে instead if you had a OH here and a OH here, so what type of OH is this carbon? What type of OH is this? And what type of OH is this one? The red one is what type of OH or alcohol?
Red one is tertiary.
Never. How many H is it bonded
Primary.
to? This OH is linked to 1 R group and 2 hydrogens, so this is primary. This OH is linked to 1 hydrogen and 2 R group, this is secondary. So primary alcohol gets oxidized to what?
Aldehyde.
It gets oxidized to aldehyde. Our aldehyde gets oxidized to what?
Carboxylic acid.
So Samrin, primary alcohol gets oxidized to?
Aldehyde.
And then?
Carboxylic acid.
And secondary alcohol gets oxidized to?
Ketone.
And then gets oxidized to?
Carboxylic acid.
No, nothing else. Ketone cannot be further oxidized. Our tertiary alcohol gets oxidized to what?
I don't know.
স্যার হয় না তো।
হয় না। Got it? Dalit?
Yes, sir.
Primary alcohol gets oxidized to, if it's incomplete oxidation, aldehyde. If it's complete oxidation, carboxylic acid. Secondary alcohol, incomplete bolo ba complete bolo does not matter. It will only get oxidized to ketone, which cannot be further oxidized to anything else. Our tertiary alcohol can never be oxidized. Never wordta is just for A levels. A levels, yes. Never wordta is just for A levels. Now, we will be discussing about alkenes being oxidized by concentrated, hot, concentrated KMnO4. So from your O-level knowledge, what is KMnO4? What type of a reagent is it?
Oxidizing agent.
Oxidizing agent. When it oxidizes somebody else and in the process itself gets
Reduced.
Okay, good. Now, আমি তোমাদেরকে কয়েকটা এক্সাম্পল দিচ্ছি, তোমরা এটা ভালোভাবে একটু দেখো। So we'll start with butene. Butene. So let's draw this first. So this is but 1-ene. What is this? But
Two
2 in.
two in
2 methyl but 2 in.
in
So now you're trying to, you have added hot concentrated KMNO4. You have added hot concentrated KMNO4. What is happening? Hot concentrated KMNO4 breaks the bond through the middle. So Amra will take this carbon as a blue carbon, and we will take this carbon as an orange carbon. Mechanism আমি next class পড়াবো এখন for the time being just understand what is happening. So now we have two separate molecules. One of the molecules, the left hand molecule, is a blue carbon. It's a blue carbon which is linked to 2 hydrogen. Linked to 2 hydrogen. And we have an orange carbon. We have an orange carbon which is linked to 1 hydrogen. This is the hydrogen. And 1 R group. What is the R group here? How many carbons are there in the R group?
ethyl.
How many carbons are there in the R group?
2 carbon.
তাহলে এটার নাম কি?
Ethyl group.
Ethyl group. Very good. Ethyl group. Oishika.
Yes, sir.
The blue carbon is linked to how many hydrogen?
2.
So when a carbon, which is part of a double bond, is linked to 2 hydrogen, it's going to give us a carbon dioxide plus water. So a oxygen is coming from the oxidizing agent, and H2 hydrogen is H2 hydrogen, and this oxygen is coming from the oxidizing agent. Let's now come to the orange carbon. Orange carbon. Orange carbon is linked to 1 hydrogen and 1 R group, right? So when a carbon which has a double bond is linked to a hydrogen and an R group, it gets oxidized to a aldehyde. Aldehyde কে তুমি যদি further oxidize করো তাহলে কি পাবা?
Carboxylic acid.
You'll get a carboxylic acid. Okay, guys. So cold dilute KMNO4, is there any splitting of the bond?
No.
No.
But when you add hot concentrated KMNO4, your bond is splitting. Actually এটা তোমাদের জন্য splitting, but it is actually different, something different what is happening. We'll discuss that next class, but this is what is happening. Okay, so but 2 in এর তুমি যদি but 2 in ভাঙো, if you break down but 2 in, I'll ask Faiz Hassan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you try to break down this double bond, okay, and then we have a orange carbon here, and we have a blue carbon here. So the orange carbon is linked to what type of groups?
So the orange carbon is linked to a hydrogen and a R group.
So if when this breaks down, what is it gonna get oxidized to?
It's going to be oxidized to an aldehyde.
And then
Further oxidation, carboxylic acid.
what about the blue carbon?
So isn't it the same?
It's the same thing. So when you break down this double bond, this is going to form a carboxylic acid. This is going to form a carboxylic acid. Sarah Raida, can you tell me what is the name of the carboxylic acid which will eventually be formed?
Ethanoic acid.
Ethanoic acid. Because it has 2 carbons, so it's ethanoic acid. This has 2 carbons, that's because it's ethanol, so that's why it's going to form ethanoic acid. Now let's come to 2-methyl butene. So Kaif, are you there, Kaif?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the orange carbon is linked to what groups?
It's bonded to 2R groups.
It's bonded to 2 R groups. Very good. It's bonded to 2 R groups. So this is the orange carbon, which is bonded to a CH3 and a CH3. So if a carbon which is bonded with another carbon, which is part of the double bond, if it has 2 R groups, it's going to get oxidized to what?
Aldehyde.
No. It's going to get oxidized to ketone. It's going to get oxidized to ketone. Acha. The blue carbon, Kaif, the blue carbon is linked to what?
Hydrogen and an R group.
And an R group. If it's bonded to a hydrogen and an R group, what will it get oxidized to?
Aldehyde.
It's going to get oxidized to aldehyde, and then further gets oxidized to
Carboxylic acid.
So is all of this happening in one reaction?
All of this happening in one? No, these are 3 separate examples.
No, so like for example, butene.
Yeah.
It's forming like, what do you call? It's forming a carboxylic acid.
Yeah.
And another carboxylic. So like 2 carboxylic acids are forming in the reaction.
It gives you 2 carboxylic acid. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like it produces 2 carboxylic, like they're the products.
They're the products, yes. Okay. So when you have a double bond O with the H, that's an aldehyde. So this is an aldehyde which will get further oxidized to carboxylic acid. It will get further oxidized to carboxylic acid.